You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7. Samantha Walker shares how one local Missouri farm uses this time of the year to help bring families together.
Also, Kansas lawmakers are working toward a bill to bring more protection to area farmers.
And it is a bit cloudy out there and very windy as we've got a few scattered showers here and there. We'll take a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. on this Monday morning. It's Monday.
Oh, it's feeling like a Monday.
It certainly is. Again,
I hope this is what a Monday feels like.
Well, here at KOAM, on the KOAM Morning News at 3 o'clock in the morning, this is what Monday feels like.
Yes.
For you at home, Monday probably feels like pressing the toaster down and it won't lock into place. And you're like, come on, I just want some toast. Because that's Monday. That's the Monday toasters. Monday. Toaster Monday. Hey, so there was an area farm here in that was helping celebrate Easter a little early.
Well, hundreds of people came out to a local farm Saturday to help celebrate Easter with some fluffy friends.
KOAM Samantha Walker has more on the guests of honor at this special egg hunt.
It's really fluffy, so.
People from all around came together at a farm in Greenfield to celebrate Easter with some fluffy friends. Baby Highland cows, goats, bunnies, and chicks joined families in the festivities.
We decided that we wanted to get reach to the community to bring families together with the things that we love the most, which is nature, animals, and just having family connections.
Local high school students were volunteers at the event and helped showcase different animals to families.
Kids can have a lot of fun here, like if they can spend time with their family and friends and stuff.
Organizers say the amount of attendees is far more than they expected.
It's great to see this many people coming out. For an event we thought we might get a couple hundred. It's been fantastic.
Participants at the egg hunt say it was the cutest and fluffiest way to celebrate Easter.
I like cows and I like Easter egg hunts.
The Reeveses say helping to bring families together is the best part.
Well, I don't think there's a lot that families get to do that's open to the public, that is free or lower cost. And this is a great way for families to come out and enjoy the fresh air, get to see the countryside. And
their hard work did not go unnoticed.
Thank you so much for doing this for all of us.
Thank you so much for providing us Easter egg hunt. They did the same thing for Christmas also.
Reporting in Greenfield, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, the organizers of Saturday's egg hunt say they hope to partner their Highland cows, an area nonprofit, in the future to help support the community.
Certainly an excellent event. I absolutely love it. And bunnies, regardless of what they may look like, are always cute and fluffy.
Just say bunnies regardless of what they look like?
Because they dressed up other animals as bunnies.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, I mean, there you go. Fluffy, they're cute.
I got you, Chris.
Okay. Are you sure?
I might need some of your coffee. I don't know.
I just started the coffee. That's the problem. I think the coffee actually keeps me in check, and I haven't had any until now. Well, something else that's going to keep us in check is the forecast, because at least I can talk about that. Let's look outside real quick. Our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. It's breezy. It is mostly cloudy out there, and we may still see a few showers, at least for some of us. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, also looking breezy and cloudy as well as folks get their day underway. Here's the bulk of the heavy rain to our south and east and into parts of Berry County on the eastern sections of Benton County. We're also trying to get at least a few more showers developing. If you look, we had some flare up and then they died out, but in this zone, we could see some additional shower development as we go through the morning and into the early afternoon. It's going to be isolated to widely scattered, but a couple of stray showers will be possible. Right now in Joplin, it is 56. It is also 56 in Pittsburgh, but again, it is cloudy and it is a bit on the breezy side. There's that cold front. And that's going to give us some problems a little later today in the form of thunderstorms, and then after that, some much cooler temperatures. But for now, not bad. temperature-wise. We are sitting in the mid to upper 50s. Take a look. Some folks in northeastern Oklahoma pushing close to 60 degrees. So if it wasn't for that wind, it's a very mild start out there. So again, for some of us, a few isolated to widely scattered showers. Otherwise, we're cloudy, breezy, south winds gusting upwards of 35, maybe 40 miles an hour. Highs today about 65, and then this evening as that cold front approaches, we're looking at some thunderstorm chances out there. We're going to take a full look at your forecast, talk about those thunderstorms and how cold it's going to get after this front here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Kansas lawmakers are trying to add more protections to shield agriculture workers from animal rights activists. A bill in the House would make it illegal to enter an animal facility or field crop production area without permission of the owner, or to knowingly make false statements on an employment application to gain access to those places. This push stems from incidents of activists attempting to secretly film suspected abuse of animals. The new bill would also clear up constitutional concerns raised by a federal court about Kansas's current protections for the ag industry. The Kansas legislature is unlikely to pass a Medicaid expansion this term as the Republican-led House halted a bill with strong support from residents. The House discussed the bill for one day after 900 people provided testimony on dozens of rallies held statewide in support of it. The House committee that heard the bill voted to halt it by a vote of 12-5 following along party lines. Governor Laura Kelly, who had spent months rallying across the state for expansion, called the move disappointing. KCU students in Joplin Saturday had the chance to participate in a mass casualty simulation. The purpose of the event was to learn and practice vital skills that will help them to prepare for real-world events. The first-year students acted as the victims, while the second-year students acted as the EMTs.
KCU students are very lucky that we have this event every year because this is very critical. Things can happen at any time, and to be able to be ready and be able to simulate these disasters and be able to learn how to deal with it, I think it's very vital, and we're going to go out there and shine.
Saturday's simulation began at 9 a.m. and wrapped up around 11. Wyandotte Saturday provided meals to the community during a local food distribution. The food donated was free to the first 350 families. It included breads, dairy, fruits, protein, and vegetables. Organizers say this event is just one way they can give back to the community.
The price of groceries have skyrocketed, and you know, food has become a real issue, especially in a small rural community like Wyandotte in this area. And so you know, we just, you know, figure it's one way that we can do our part to help meet the need, you know, to make sure that people have food in this area.
Saturday's event had more than 20 Wyandotte Nation volunteers. Those are our top stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll hear how you can help the Pittsburgh High School Theater Department solve a mystery this Friday. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Indigo Sky Casino is the place to play.
Well, it's never too early to start planning your weekend, and the Pittsburgh High School Theater Department has a great date night for you. Ben Bollinger and Lucy Brookshire are here to share how you can help solve a mystery. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So can you talk to me a little bit about the murder mystery and just the event in general?
Oh, well, it's kind of, it's like a dinner. Basically, there's several courses, and in between them, there's like a little play that happens. It's a little murder mystery. It's set in Italy, a restaurant. It's Politana's, because all of the character names are like little jokes on like either an Italian food name or
okay,
like
yeah, how
like,
fun.
I'm Neapolitina.
I play Michelle Angelo.
There's Margarita pizza, al dente.
Well,
lots of fun.
That's so fun. So what is the mystery in the dinner?
So
there has been a murder.
There's been a murder.
Okay.
There is a chef, the chef in the back. You find out he is murdered.
Oh,
the Chef Garibaldi. And you find out he's been murdered, and you have to kind of figure out based on the characters, what they do, and what happens, who you think the murderer is.
Well, it's super fun and interactive. So can I just ask, why choose a murder mystery to have this fundraiser?
I think it's like, number one, really audience interactive,
Right.
you know, so we get to do a lot of improv and we get to like talk with the audience a lot, which I think is really interesting,
Yeah,
especially for the community, because it's kind of like they get to be a part of the show too.
It's very interactive. There's lots of little moments where there is a script, but we're encouraged to like
get to showcase your skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of little like bits and moments where it's like, talk to an audience member about this, get them to do that. It's a very interactive event.
Well, it sounds great, and for folks in the Pittsburgh area who want to come and see this, can you talk to me about the date, the time, the location?
Yes, it is on this Friday.
Okay.
It's at 6 p.m.
6.
Tickets are $25, and you can get them on our Facebook page, Pittsburgh Theater Troupe 3149.
And is there a limit to how many people you guys are hosting?
Yes, there's a limit of 80, but if we get more people to sign up, we will open up a second night. The main course is lasagna. That's why the ticket prices are like $25. It's not just for the show. It's you get a full meal as well.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah.
And there is meatless options because it's Good Friday. So.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for being here and sharing about the event. Make sure to check it out and make your reservations for this Friday at the Pittsburgh High School. We'll be right back.
The average cost of hearing aids is nearly $5,000.
Games on the best day of the week. Fox Saturday Baseball returns March 30th.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:16 on this Monday morning. It is also breezy and cloudy out there. Take a look at our camera on the Cornell Complex, shaking in the wind out there. Look at the flags on City Hall just really whipping in this wind. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line looking back to the west, and it's shaking pretty good too. We've seen wind gusts upwards of 35 miles an hour out there, and that's going to be the case through most of the day. KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh also showing us those cloudy skies, trying to get a little daylight in, but not much out there. Skywatch Storm Tracker, the bulk of the heavy rain again to our south and east and into Berry County and into Benton County. But see, take a look. We're still trying to get some showers to develop, and in this zone here is where our best opportunity for some additional scattered to isolated to scattered showers will be as we go through the morning and into the afternoon. Then this evening, the cold front comes in, and we do have an opportunity for some thunderstorms, and a couple of those could be strong, low-grade severe, with hail and wind being the primary concern out there. So we're going to keep an eye on those thunderstorm chances for you this evening. Let's take a look down the road. Future track, I think this zone here and to the east is our better opportunity for some showers through the morning into the early afternoon, but a sprinkle or two will not be out of the question in parts of southeast Kansas. Then, this is our scenario. The cold front knocking on our back door, just to the west of Yates Center and Fredonia. Ahead of it, a very narrow area. Now, I know mileage-wide, that's pretty wide. But in terms of the big picture for thunderstorms, we get this narrow area of sunshine. It's going to warm up a little bit. Take a look. Chanute, Fredonia, Coffeyville, a little warmer than the rest of us today with this sunshine out there. And that's going to be just enough destabilization to be a trigger for some thunderstorm development as we head into the evening. So at 4 or 5 o'clock, we get a line of showers and thunderstorms out there. It's a bit of a broken line, but we do get this line going. It gets organized a little more so as it pushes off to the east with the front, because take a look at the wind shift. You can very clearly see where that front is as it rolls through the area. You can also tell by some of the temperatures a little cooler back behind this thing. And by 8, 9 o'clock, the rest of these showers and storms are rolling out of the area. The greater severe threat is going to stick to our south around the Gulf Coast. Then overnight, if you were watching, yeah, that was some light snow showers in our far northern counties. Not out of the question overnight tonight. Won't add up to anything, but it is a possibility, because look at these temperatures by 5 o'clock into the 30s. We're going to spend most of Tuesday cloudy and the first half of it breezy with west-northwest winds gusting upwards of 20, 25 miles an hour. And look at noon. We're only into the upper 30s and low 40s out there, so a pretty chilly day. It's also going to be, again, breezy today Winds out of the south and southeast, gusting upwards of 30, 35, and in some cases maybe 40 miles an hour out there. Then ahead of the front, for some of us, they pause briefly, and then they'll pick back up again overnight tonight and into the first half of our Tuesday. And by the afternoon hours on Tuesday, these winds will eventually start to die down and finally give us a little bit of a break. And there's a little bit of sky trying to show through, so this is mostly cloudy out there. 56 in Joplin, south-southeast breeze at 18, those gusts pushing about 30 miles an hour. There's that cold front off to our northwest with that temperature divide. But for us ahead of it, if it wasn't for the wind, it wouldn't be too bad of a start. We are in the mid-upper 50s, pushing close to 60 in some locations out there. We got our morning started. Again, a few isolated to widely scattered showers, breezy, about 58 by 11. Otherwise, cloudy skies. We're going to be mostly cloudy heading into the afternoon. A few showers again possible, 65. And as we head into this evening, we'll have those thunderstorms between roughly 4 and 9 this evening. And then after that, the front, we drop back down into the 30s with mostly cloudy skies. Only the upper 40s tomorrow, cloudy and cool for sure. We'll warm up heading into the weekend, pushing near 80 on Sunday ahead of another system that moves in at the beginning of the next work week. That's a check of our forecast. We're back with more right after this.
From the moment you call until you walk.
Quality, compassionate.
Quality, compassionate, affordable care.
Welcome back. Today would be the 110th birthday of Dr. Norman Borlaug, who studied plants and changed the world with the Green Revolution in agriculture. Here to share more about Dr. Borlaug and his legacy is celebrity historian Rafi Andonian. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Of course. I even wore a green bow tie in honor of his contributions.
Yeah, and I guess I matched you along with it. So can you talk to me a little bit about who is Dr. Norman Borlaug?
He was born in Iowa,
okay,
and he went to college in Minnesota during the Great Depression. And when he went there in the Depression studying plants, he was affected by seeing a lot of hungry people.
Oh, yes.
And so he eventually goes and does a short job at the Forest Service, again working with plants, goes back to graduate school and studies plant pathology. So he's a plant expert.
Wow.
And so shortly after graduate school, he ends up in Mexico working on developing better strands of wheat. And that's where he makes a big breakthrough, which ends up having an impact not just in Mexico, but across the entire world, in the United States, eventually in Asia, India, Pakistan, and even eventually Africa.
That's incredible.
Global impact known as the Green Revolution.
And what is the Green Revolution?
The Green Revolution is the fact that being able to do more plants, more production with less land. Because of what he did with the wheat, that was transferred to other crops as well. And in the process, they were able to have more disease resistance, more variety in being able to go through different climates, different water conditions. As a result, you saw production double and even triple.
Wow.
And some people say that he did more to end world hunger, or not completely end it, but to reduce world hunger than anyone else. And as a result of that, that's why he got the Congressional Gold Medal, which this is a duplicate of from the U.S. Mint, a bronze duplicate of the Congressional Gold Medal that he received in honor of his achievements. This duplicates it, and that's him on there.
What an honor, how incredible.
Exactly, because the impact he had on agriculture, the Green Revolution,
it's right up there on the screen,
throughout the world. And you're looking at an up-close view right there, and this quote about how people deserve food and ending world hunger. That was a vision that he saw and how he applied his technology. Now, another thing that's really fascinating is this wasn't the only award he won.
Oh, wow.
He actually won a Presidential Medal of Freedom, so from the U.S.
Incredible,
president as well.
yes. And from which president do you know?
I don't remember which president right now.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
And then he also has a statue in the U.S. Capitol. And so if you go to the U.S. Capitol, he is one of the statues in there. He also won a Nobel Peace Prize for the impact he had on the world, the only agricultural person to ever win a Peace Prize. And when he went to try to create an agricultural prize with the Nobel Committee, because of his victory, they didn't allow him to do so. So he created his own prize that still exists today, the World Food Prize, that is designed to be given to improvements in agriculture. So believe it or not, even though he won the Nobel Peace Prize, another agricultural person didn't win and they didn't want more, so he created his own prize. It still exists today.
Wow, how incredible, and what a legacy, you know, what an incredible man. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Stick around, we'll be right back. All right, wonderful.
Find amazing deals for only $332.49, plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Elise Noe. Voters in Missouri were able to cast their ballot Saturday for the Democratic presidential primary. This primary election nominates a Democratic presidential nominee. It was held after Missouri representatives failed to implement the presidential preference primary voters may be used to. Organizers say they hope voters still participate despite the change.
It's to protect and promote our democracy. Yes, it's very important that everyone get out and vote in every election. This election, and then we have a primary in August. It's very important to vote.
Organizers say official numbers from Saturday's election may not be announced until later on this week. Saturday's ballots are being transported to St. Louis, where they are being counted. The state of Missouri is exceeding the federal limit on how long it takes to review Medicaid applications. February was the third straight month exceeding the limit. The median time it took Missouri's Social Services Department to process Medicaid applications for low-income Missourians in February was 77 days. That means half of the applications processed in February had been pending for at least 2.5 months. According to federal law, those applications need to be processed in 45 days. 4 Pitt State students were featured Sunday as rising stars in the SEK Symphony Concert. Joel Garber, Ryan Ford, Maria Snyder, and Jewel Lunday all performed at Pitt State. Sunday, their hard work paid off as they were recognized as rising stars during the concert. They earned that distinction by winning the Concerto Aria competition. Well, Central Christian Center in Joplin Sunday got into the Easter spirit with an egg hunt. Attendees were able to hunt for more than 600 eggs, including 60 gold eggs. The event also included a bounce house and face painting for the kiddos. Organizers say the egg hunt is a good way for families to create memories together.
Every kid loves that sugar rush and enjoys a lot of Easter candy, and so we want to facilitate that and create memories for the kids, especially if their parents don't have an opportunity to take them to another one. They get to have an Easter egg hunt while their parents enjoy service in our main auditorium.
For a list of Easter egg hunts in your community, go on over to our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Southwest Missouri Bank Saturday hosted a community breakfast fundraiser for area veterans. Proceeds from the event go to the sponsorship of a service dog for a disabled veteran through Heartland Canines. Saturday, we asked a local veteran how his service dog is able to help him.
I can tell you right off the top of my head, Riley's helped me cut down on about 90% of my medication. She encourages me just as much as I encourage her to get back into public. To feel more comfortable and confident in different situations, and that's life-changing.
The breakfast included all-you-can-eat biscuits and gravy and pancakes.
We've got ourselves a cloudy and breezy start to the day out there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line, shaking back and forth. Now, of course, that shaking amplified by the fact that the camera itself is zoomed in a bit, looking back to the west, but you can see those cloudy skies out there. Skywatch Storm Tracker, again, heavier precipitation in the eastern half of Berry County, now working into southern Mack County, and we've got some heavier rain in Benton County, a few isolated showers in eastern Jasper and Newton County. We've had showers try to get going across the area, and if we see any additional showers, they're going to be in this zone right here, I believe, and points to the east and southeast of that. Right now in Joplin, it is 56 degrees. Of course, it is windy, it is cloudy, it is 56 in Pittsburgh, and once this pops up, take a look. You can very clearly see where that cold front is out there to our west, and it's going to be bringing us some much colder temperatures. Ahead of it, though, look at this. We got the south winds gusting upwards 30, 35 miles an hour out there, but the temperatures upper 50s, getting close to 60 in some locations. We're looking at highs just a few degrees warmer, about 65. We're going to be cloudy, breezy. A few of us may see some isolated to widely scattered showers, and then this evening we're watching the possibility of some thunderstorms along that cold front once it works into our area. We have more details on those thunderstorm chances and just how cold it's going to get behind this front here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Carl Junction students will soon have a new resource to help gain real-world experience in agriculture. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how a new farm will benefit students.
Carl Junction High School students will soon have a new facility to help them grow. The school's Future Farmers of America chapter welcomed the public to come see the new Asbel Family Research Center, which will be the Carl Junction School Farm.
Be able to do more and more and more for our ag students. Agriculture is the biggest industry in our country, and to get kids excited about that in high school and to have these opportunities for them to experience VOAG just hands-on is amazing for us.
The farm was made possible from donations from the Roper and Asbel families. Organizers say the center will allow students to gain first-hand experience in the world of agriculture.
The goal is to be able to take enhancements so that we're teaching in the classroom in agriculture and be able to apply them to a real-world setting. So being able to be hands-on with an animal and be able to feed that animal and having those responsibilities.
For students, it's an opportunity to continue following their passion.
It makes me so excited to learn and teach other people about the future generations and how to help them. That's what I'm about. So this farm will help many people. It'll help people years after me, and they'll have it grow and offer more learning opportunities.
And current FFA students say it's great knowing this resource will be here for future generations.
And I feel like as many farmers as we can get, it's going to help out a lot. Even if you're not a farmer, there's something for you to do in the agriculture industry overall.
The school celebrated the construction of the farm with a ribbon-cutting ceremony open to the public. The ceremony features a petting zoo where people could get up and close with the animals.
Show them what the future of agriculture can do and what it is, and just grow either the agricultural industry or grow the community knowledge about the agricultural industry.
Reporting in Carl Junction, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
An upcoming bond issue for Carl Junction schools would help further fund the research farm. Organizers say there are already plans to add a lab facility and a classroom. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We'll see how a class in California is taking what they learn in the classroom and applying it toward their careers.
Welcome to Miss Daisy's, where style meets comfort. Your space. Come shop with us at Miss Daisy's Home and Decor and give your home the makeover it deserves.
In Consumer Watch this morning, the first birth control pill available over the counter is now available to consumers. O-Pill hit the shelves at various Walgreens locations last week, marking the first time women can purchase it without a prescription. The pill can also be purchased online from Amazon, CVS, or the O-Pill website. While some states allow pharmacists to dispense birth control without a prescription, this marks the first nationwide over-the-counter availability approved by the FDA in July. The FAA makes an exemption for a Texas drone maker to use a technique that will save farmers time and money. The FAA will allow fleets of drones 55 pounds and heavier to farm. Operating cost is around a third or a quarter of the amount compared to conventional tractors and seeding rigs. A two-person team can fly up to 3 drones at once. Hylio drones cost about $50,000, while a tractor can range from $30,000 to $700,000. Ride sharing has been a great addition to our society, but not everyone can utilize the service. Keith Birigolic shares more on how one company aims to help those who may be left out.
Tom Rouse was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in the late 80s. His leg's been deteriorating ever since.
One of the hardest things for people who have conditions like mine is to ask for help.
There's companies that will take people to the doctor's office. But what about a trip to the symphony or a Reds game? A new company in Northern Kentucky is trying to change that.
It's like an Uber for people in wheelchairs.
It's called Ride-A-Wave. Unlike Uber, Ride-A-Wave drivers will come inside and help customers to the van.
Hello, my friend. A lot of people in my condition are dependent upon other people to lift them up, put the wheelchair in the trunk if you can, take them places, keep them from falling down, or if they fall down, pick them back up. And you get tired of asking people to help you.
On Tuesday, Rouse needed a pick-me-up. For him, that meant a Frappuccino. Alan Hebel found and ride a wave, and he just so happened to be Rouse's driver.
I took half a dozen ladies to a high school performance, and they just had a ball, you know. I mean, it's that kind of thing that positive feedback that you get.
Was that where they were singing on the way back?
Yeah.
Other companies offer similar services, but Ride-A-Wave is the only one that allows people to schedule on the same day.
That Frappuccino filled me up. I'll just have leftovers tonight for dinner.
And those are our top Consumer Watch stories this morning. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Sometimes you want to touch, sometimes you don't.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 on this Monday morning. We've got some heavier showers in parts of Berry County and eastern McDonald County and down into Benton County out there. And we've got a few other showers that are trying to get going just on what is now the west side of Lawrence County. These are rolling out of Jasper County, so just southwest of Greenfield. And this is going to be a zone where we can see some additional shower development. Let's say right through here, just right along and just immediately north of the I-44 corridor. So a few isolated to widely scattered showers will be possible. Then this evening, as that cold front approaches, we do have a threat for some stronger storms out there, at least a couple for sure. It could bring us some hail and maybe some gusty winds across the area. So it is something we're going to keep an eye on. We're not looking at a widespread or significant severe threat, and I'm going to tell you why in just a moment, but a couple of stronger storms could bring some large hail and perhaps some damaging wind gusts. First, through the morning and into the early afternoon, I think this zone here is going to be the better opportunity for a few of those scattered showers, but some sprinkles out into southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma are not out of the question. Here's why we're going to see thunderstorms and also why we're not expecting anything significant in the severe weather department for today. By this afternoon, this very narrow opening of sunshine and warmer weather will roll out. We'll have some clear skies. Chanute, Fredonia, Coffeyville, a little warmer than the rest of us today, depending on how much sunshine gets in there, because we're still going to have those gusty south winds ahead of the front, which is now just on our back door out here. That's going to be just enough destabilization to give us some thunderstorm chances. But even though driving distance, obviously, it's a pretty wide distance. But in the big picture for thunderstorms, that's not that big of an area of destabilization. That's why we're not expecting anything significantly severe or really anything widespread at this point. But by about 4 or 5 o'clock, we get a line of thunderstorms, and you can very clearly see where that front is. These are developing right along that front, and here's that wind shift back behind it, and here's still the southerly winds out ahead of it. These thunderstorms form a pretty decent line, an organized line, but again, that severe threat at this point is relatively limited as this front continues to roll off to the east, and by about 9 o'clock, those thunderstorms are out of here. Now, overnight, our far northern counties could see a few isolated to scattered snow showers. They're not going to add up to anything, but it's going to get pretty darn cold behind this front. We'll have gusty west winds back behind this, and for some of us, northwest winds as this system rolls through, and we're going to fall back into the 30s and be cloudy. We're going to be cloudy most of our Tuesday and breezy through the first half of our Tuesday. And by noon, take a look at this, upper 30s, low 40s. Not a lot of warming taking place. We're going to have those gusty south winds today pushing upwards of 35, potentially 40 miles an hour. Ahead of the front, they'll calm down momentarily. And then after that front passes, they're going to pick back up, gusting upwards of 30 behind this front for the first half of our Tuesday. As we get into the second half of our Tuesday, those winds do eventually begin to calm down. Quick look at temperatures. We're cloudy in Joplin, 56. South-southeast breeze at 18, gusting upwards of 30. There's that cold front, very clearly defined out there. But ahead of it, we're not doing bad in the temperature department. It's that wind that's kind of making it feel worse out there, as we're all in the mid to upper 50s across the area. We're looking at highs today around 65 degrees out there, and we'll have those thunderstorm chances again this evening, falling back into the 30s tonight, only into the upper 40s for our Tuesday. Wednesday, 30s again Tuesday night, and then we'll gradually start to warm up heading into the weekend. Take a look at Sunday pushing near 80, and we got another system with some shower chances as we head into the beginning of next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Outpost Casino is celebrating the return of spring.
NFL players now at 20. She's continuing to raise the bar and showing us what she's got on the next Tamron Hall.
Tamron Hall, this morning at 10, right here on Fox 14.
Well, students at a high school in San Francisco learn how to design video games, but their teacher says they're learning that and much more.
Fox's Christine Cafton reports on how the students are learning and what they're learning.
Is your computer missing?
Inside San Francisco's Balboa High School, students in Mr. Peary's class are hard at work building video games. Make no mistake, while these games may be fun to play, designing them is hard work.
And that includes programming, and it includes making the digital art assets for like players, enemies, backgrounds and stuff like that, as well as sound effects and background music. So we got to make all that stuff, and then we put it into our game, and then we have to write the code to make it work.
Like, can you print something? Zach Byra and David Zhang are working on a game tentatively called Crypt of the Silver Phoenix. Gameplay includes battling monsters that turn to stone and a never-ending maze of rooms to navigate.
Everything is happening in this game engine. So we've got a randomly generated room structure, which so that it will never be the same no matter how many times you play through it.
The project is part of the school's Pathways program. All of the students here at Balboa High School focus on a 21st century career path. Students in the gaming program learn important skills from coding to problem solving. Zhang says their entire team has been working on one issue after another, debugging line after line of code to make their game work.
We get a new problem like every hour, and we talk about it, and we talk about it, and then we fix it, and oh, hey, there's a new problem. So it's just constantly, we get that experience.
And just like professional game developers, these students are facing a hard deadline. The Game Developer Conference is underway in San Francisco right now, and on Thursday, these students are going to have a chance to show off their projects to the pros and get some tips on how to proceed.
We did have an issue where whenever we tried to work on the game, on my computer, it would just crash like immediately, and we haven't fixed that. We're hoping that at GDC we could talk to the people who are behind Godot, maybe figure out what's going on.
Mr. Peary says while he teaches the class, his students consistently come up with innovative solutions on their own that he never would have considered. He says watching that spark of innovation is one of the joys of teaching this class. Peary says the experience these students are getting will serve them whether they pursue a career in game design or not.
But I tell them over and over that what I'm really teaching you is independent, creative problem solving. And whether you work in tech, whether you work in games, or you do something else, everybody wants independent, creative problem solvers.
Teachers here say this program could be replicated in any school district and hope to see more students take a serious look at a career in gaming. Christian Cafton, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Well, that was great to see, especially those students going after their passion like that and seeing how it could develop into a career.
It's incredible, too, how course offerings have differed. I don't remember anything quite that fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they had fun stuff to us, but
right.
Not anything like that. Future video games coming from those classrooms out there. And we've got some future showers coming from the weather today, coming from Mother Nature more specifically. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing where we keep trying to get a few showers out there. I want to point out, I think we've got a zone along and almost immediately north of I-44 where we could see a few isolated to widely scattered showers out there as we head through the morning. This evening, we do have that possibility of a strong storm or two that could produce some large hail and perhaps some damaging wind gusts out there, and that'll come later this evening. Through the day, we could see a few isolated showers or sprinkles out there. Then we get this clearing and we'll warm up just enough to get a line of thunderstorms right along this cold front as it pushes into the area, and between about 4 and 9 is when we're going to deal with these thunderstorms as they progress through the area and eventually clear out of here, maybe even a few snow showers in some of our northern counties. Thankfully, that won't add up to much. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
The wall-to-wall sale at Furniture Row has been extended, and that means every sofa, dining table.
At the age of 17 with his father's written consent, we are proud to salute John Hoagland, a 4-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Kansas lawmakers are trying to add more protection for agriculture workers. The bill would make it illegal to enter an animal facility or field crop production area without permission of the owner, or to knowingly make false statements on an employment application to gain access to those places. Southwest Missouri Bank Saturday hosted a community breakfast for fundraiser for area veterans. Proceeds from the event go to the sponsorship of a service dog for a disabled veteran through Heartland Canines. The breakfast included all-you-can-eat biscuits and gravy and pancakes. Wyandotte Nation Saturday provided meals to the community during a local food distribution. The food donated was free to the first 350 families. It included breads, dairy, fruits, protein, and vegetables. Organizers say this event is just one way they can give back to the community.
We got highs about 65 today, a few isolated showers for some of us, otherwise cloudy, breezy, gusts 35, maybe 40 miles an hour. That cold front works in, and between about 4 and 9, a few scattered thunderstorms out there. A couple of those could be strong with some hail and damaging wind gusts, so we'll keep an eye on those for you. Behind the front, breezy and cold, back down to about 30 for our low. Only into the upper 40s tomorrow, however, we'll see warmer temperatures heading into the weekend, pushing near 80 by Sunday.
Alrighty, thanks, Chris. Satellite imagery captured a coronal hole near the sun's equator last week. According to the NOAA, coronal holes appear as dark areas in extreme ultraviolet and soft X-ray solar images.
The spots appear dark because they are cooler, less dense regions than the surrounding plasma. This open magnetic field line structure allows the solar wind to escape more readily into space, resulting in streams of relatively fast solar wind, and is often referred to as a high-speed stream. In fact, we had a coronal mass ejection. We have some magnetic storm warnings. They're G2, which I understand is moderate.
Okay.
But they were a little higher earlier. That'll be impacting our planet here in the next couple of days. So
how interesting.
Just a heads up on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.